Investing in Pokemon singles. The market is well and truly retracing at the moment, isn't it? Hey, welcome to the channel. I'm Michael and also PokeOz, of course. This channel is all about Pokemon card investing and market watch, and today is a bit of investing advice and some market watch. If you're new here, thanks heaps for tuning in. I hope you can stay. Click the subscribe button, and if you're rejoining, thanks heaps for coming back to the channel. The support means a lot. So, a couple of topics I want to touch on in today's video. First of all, of course, is the decline we're seeing in a massive amount of singles, particularly from the Scarlet and Violet era, illustration rares, special illustration rares. The second topic I want to talk about is, the supply demand that's coming into play there. Then the third topic I want to talk about is that relationship or difference between investing in singles Pokemon cards and sealed Pokemon cards. So let's just jump straight into some numbers that we're seeing. And I've literally just jumped on here and clicked on some random cards. I didn't pre-go through this to make sure I'm picking cards that are going to be down in price. I just knew that a lot of these cards have been absolutely pumped up. So I've jumped into Scarlet and Violet base to start off with, of course, the Drowsy. And look, I made a video about 3 weeks ago talking about just the artificial price that a lot of singles from Scarlet and Violet era are seeing, which I'll talk about shortly at the end of this clip that comes up. When we see the Drowsies down, we see cards like the Slowpokes down. There are a lot of illustration rares from Scarlet and Violet base that are down now. And in case you didn't realize, what had happened was so many people bought these out. So they were just bought out heaps. And look, the word, pumping up these cards or buyouts or whatever the reason, whatever the words were being thrown around, artificial demand, maybe a few people buying a few cards and that artificially pumping up the price. And I'm going to keep scrolling through some cards here. You can see them. I think I'm jumping into Obsidian Flames, and we'll take a look at Paradox Rift and Temporal Forces, etc. Even the Latias at the end from Surging Sparks. But yeah, what was happening during this phase or over the last sort of month in the hobby is people were buying singles essentially to artificially pump up the price of them. And then once that was happening and finished, we start seeing this, which is a massive retraction. And it's a very, very simple economic principle, isn't it? When there's more demand for a card and supply stays the same, we see an increase in price. Once price gets to a certain point, it's going to diminish demand because people don't want to pay that much for that particular card. And then we see the inverse effect where the card starts retracing in price. And all these examples here that I'm showing you from the Collector app, of course, I'm teamed up with the Collector app. You can see just how easy the app is to navigate through cards on here. There'll be a link in the description if you want to download the Collector app. I, of course, promote it and we've teamed up together. So that is a great app that I'll leave in the description. But as you can see, eventually they are coming back down to earth and retracing because people don't want to pay the price they were pumped up to. And look, the Drowsy is a phenomenally good looking card, but is it a 90 or 100 US dollar card? I just don't think it is. Yes, it's a Gen 1, 151 Pokemon, but at the end of the day, someone joked, I saw them read, you can only polish a turd so much. Phenomenal artwork, and they've done so much benefits to Drowsy, but it's not a $90 or $100 card. It was pumped up to that place by people that were buying it out. And look, people might agree or disagree with that and go, oh, they weren't bought out. Maybe one person bought 20 coppers and we start seeing the price rise up, and then we get this FOMO effect where 80 other individuals across the next 2 days or 160 individuals across the next 2 days buy it. And all of a sudden, that's when we get the upward pressure put on the price. So, as you can see, it's crazy, that whole, supply-demand difference that's happening there. Now, one of the other things I wanted to talk about with this, now that a lot of singles have come back down to earth, is the difference between sealed and singles investing. And if I jump onto another screen grab from Collector here, I'm going to click on, some similar booster boxes from those sets, S&V base, Padair Evolved, etc. And you'll see something interesting. Some of them have retracted a tiny bit, but most of them, even with the news of some possible reprints on the way, are actually still traveling up in price. So that's the difference, in my opinion, between singles and sealed. I've said this all along. If you've watched this channel across the last 2 years, I've said you need to be game to invest in singles. To me, it's almost like a mugs game. I don't want the risk. I don't have the time to quickly sell if I need to. I work 50 hours a week, plus I have other, responsibilities. So for me to buy 30 copies of a card and wait for it to go up $20 to sell all 30 to make 600 minus shipping and fees, it's just not worth it to me. I don't have the time and resources to be able to do that, nor do I really want to, nor do I really find that an enjoyable way to make $500. Some people might, some people don't. I'm falling, pretty squarely in the don't camp. But I've said all along, singles are incredibly volatile. You can get massive gains and it can be so fun. But personally, I just collect what I like when it comes to singles. The example I was giving up here with the sealed product is just how much more stable it is. And look, there's a direct relationship between singles and sealed, right? So if we start seeing a massive retraction in the singles prices for a lot of singles in Scarlet and Violet sets, and total set value, I'm just plucking numbers out of the air, but total set value for Scarlet and Violet base goes from 700 back down to 550 because we see a fair bit of retraction in price, then you generally see a bit of a flow-on effect through to the sealed product, the booster box. But we haven't really seen that much of it, and that's because eventually the sealed product will become a collectible in its own right. And I think that's what we're finding with a lot of these Scarlet and Violet booster boxes, and why I suggest all the time that booster boxes are a much stronger investment when it comes to Pokemon cards than investing in singles. So 2 more things I want to touch on before we round out the video. I said right at the start that I'll touch on what I did 3 weeks ago in regards to this artificial buyout and what's happening with singles. And then I also want to give some advice in a second about where to. Well, what does all this mean? This retraction in singles, the more stable base of the booster boxes, what sort of advice or what can we take from this whole scenario moving forward? So 3 weeks ago, I remember I did a fair few videos, 3 or 4 weeks ago, just saying, hold your horses, a lot of these singles are going to retrace in price. And it's funny because, and look, I've done them as well over the years, whether it's 5 Pokemon cards with room to growth, or 10 Pokemon cards that are about to take off, or whatever it might be. But it was funny, even 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, we're still seeing so many videos from so many creators saying, these 10 cards are going to absolutely, balloon in price. And what's funny is, we've actually seen the opposite. And the video I did 3 or 4 weeks ago sort of outlined that this massive artificial increase in price, the demand just can't hold there. There's only so much money that comes into the hobby, and with new sets on the horizon, vintage still in play, this massive amount of sets with everything in between, from Wizards of the Coast to Destined Rivals, which is on the near horizon. There's only so much money that can go around, and it's funny, humans unfortunately we're a bit like sheep, aren't we? We just follow the herd, and if the herd's buying particular cards, then everyone else feels they need to, and that's what sort of pumped up the price. And I just warn people, it's just not going to stay there. I can't, the Drowsy was an example I used before, it's just not going to stay at $90 card. As good as the Scizor is from City and Flames, is it a $30 or $40 card? I just don't think so, and I think it's come back to a $15 card now. It's just, that you just got to be careful when it comes to singles. And right, so the final thing I want to touch on for the video, what does this actually mean? I think it's a bit of a wake-up call for some people. Maybe some people got caught out, maybe some people didn't. Maybe some people timed it absolutely perfectly. Maybe some of you guys and girls watching timed it absolutely perfectly. Maybe you bought 10 copies of particular cards across different illustration rares from different Scarlet and Violet sets, and you've got more time on your hands than what I do. And maybe you bought them low and rode that wave right to the top and then sold them at the peak, and you're going, yes, beautiful. I've made my money, I've done a good play there, I've made a couple of grand in, 2 or 3 weeks, and, everything's sweet. Maybe some people got caught out, and that's what I mean by a wake-up call. Maybe some people bought Drowsy on the way up at $80 US, and then it got to 90, and they're thinking, oh, great, this could go to a $120 card. And then all of a sudden it's back down to a $40 to $45 card. So one thing to take out of this, and I've said all along, is just how volatile singles can be. And look, that doesn't mean these cards aren't going to return back up, because, we saw it during Sword and Shield as well, didn't we? It was people were on that tag team era still from Sun and Moon, and then, Sword and Shield Old Arts come out, and then sort of, a year to 18 months after, Sword and Shield Old Arts released, people go, hold on, these are these are magnificent cards. And all of a sudden we saw this massive uptick in price, and the market lulled a little bit and they came back down to earth a fair bit. You know, we're seeing 20, 30, 40, 50% reductions in prices on some of them. And look, now a lot of them are back up again. So that's not to say that Drowsy isn't going to be a $75 card one day. Like, it could well go back up. So could Scizor from Obsidian Flame. So could every other example that I clicked on. And the point is, it's just so volatile and it's very, very difficult to tell. Now, contrary to that, the final bit of advice I guess I can offer is just how stable sealed is. And look, especially if you're buying a good set. If you're buying a good set with good mechanics, with good Pokemon cards inside it, that grade well, that are worth money, you just can't go wrong. Even if it gets reprinted, the demand for it is just going to absorb it at the moment. Well, particularly at the moment. The demand will absorb it anyway, eventually. Like, all sets across all time, sealed booster boxes and elite trainer boxes have gone up in price. 3-pack blisters, single booster packs, sleeve booster packs, they've all gone up in price over time. So that is one thing I guess we can take away from this, is the volatility of singles versus the stable nature of sealed products, that even in the event of reprints on the horizon, we're still seeing sealed product remain pretty damn stable. And keep in mind, the demand for the product at the moment, even if it does get reprinted, a lot of these sets will rebound very, very quickly. And in the not too distant future, we'll have a whole new era out, we'll have a whole new generation of Pokemon out, we'll probably have a new lot of fans opening the cards, we'll have the same lot of fans trying to scout the products and whatever it might be. And then, you know, all of a sudden, Scarlet and Violet gets remembered as a fantastic era and the products get rarer and rarer, and we start seeing what we're seeing during Sword and Shield now, where we're seeing, of course, Evo Sky's the golden child there, and then, you know, Brilliant Stars, Astral Radiance, Lost Origin, Silver Tempest, Fusion Strike, Chilling Reign. All these sets starting to get some massive love and uptick in price massively. Even Vivid Voltage and Darkness Ablaze, I seem to pick on them a lot. People seem to tell me in the comments. Hey, I've got a fair few booster boxes of them as well. But yeah, there we go. I think that's what we can probably take from this whole scenario. I'm Michael. This is PokeOz. Catch everyone next time.